with me today from Nektan here in the studio, I'm joined by Lucy Buckley. Lucy, great to see you.
Great to see you too, thanks for having me.
Of course, you took over as Chief Executive early December.
I did.
December the 3rd. Tell us a bit more about yourself.
So I've been in the gambling industry for about 10 years now, previously at a company called Inspired Entertainment, NASDAQ listed, previously on AIM many years ago actually, and I was running their interactive division. So the opportunity to move to Nektan, do something very similar, but experience that really high growth is a really exciting opportunity.
Well, tell me a bit more. Why Nektan in particular? What do you like about this business specifically?
Yeah, so I think Nektan's got fantastic technology, a really good foundation, a really cool business in its B2C white label. And the emerging part of the B2B business is really exciting. There's lots of growth opportunities globally, in Europe and outside beyond to Asia and also in the US. So it's a really exciting time for the company, and looking forward to taking it forward into the next stage of growth.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the detail as to the divisions in a moment. I know you've recently had a quarterly report out and some record revenues. So it was a nice period. Tell us a little bit more about what was going on here.
It's fantastic. So we've just announced Q2, as you said. So total revenues up to 8.6 million, up from 6.7 in the previous quarter. So that's a staggering growth. We're very pleased with that. And year on year, that's 83%, which is a really great indication that we're going in the right direction. The B2C business is strong. So our B2C white label casino business is very strong. We're expanding into new markets. Our Swedish license we've applied for and should be coming through shortly. And various other markets we're looking at for growth in B2C, but it's B2B that's really driven that growth in Q2. Just to give you an idea, our unique active players has gone up from 4,000 to over 77,000, and that's just in one quarter. So you can imagine if we keep on pushing that growth through into the next quarter, we've got a very sizable business.
And so you went live with 4 new operators.
We did. One of the largest was BetVictor, which we announced that contract a couple of months ago. So we got them live nice and quickly, and we're now seeing a great number of players and really good revenues coming through from that operator. 3 other major partners as well, launched in the quarter, and we've got lots more signed and ready to go live in the following quarter. And
what about developments as far as gaming content?
Yeah, so Nektan really likes to be a home for the big brand content. It's much like the Netflix model. You've got to have the big flagship content that's going to bring people to the platform, but we also want to champion smaller studios, undiscovered content that is the next big thing. So we're partnering with a number of studios, the most recent one being Rising Entertainment, so a Japanese studio, very big in the pachinko market in Japan. And so we're partnering with them on content to bring those games to the European market, also release them in Asia, and potentially the US going forward. So that's a great opportunity for them, but also for us that it's slightly higher margin versus the more flagship content.
You mentioned the US there. What are the plans as far as your operations over there?
Yeah, so we recently announced that we've got interest from an investor to come on as a majority shareholder in the US, which is great for them. Obviously the US is on everybody's lips at the moment as the next big regulated market. There's a lot of activity there at the moment. I think the potential is huge, but it's great that for the core business it reduces our cash burn in the US and helps us get to that EBITDA break-even point a bit quicker. And just to point out, for the European business, we should be at that EBITDA break-even point by the end of the financial year, so that's June 30th.
But you are keen to maintain a stake and interest in the US operations? We
are keen. We really believe in the product and the technology and the opportunity. So that's more an indication of our belief in the market and what we're doing there. So we've got several contracts with major operators to launch our on-premise mobile solution in casinos. So for the first time in many states, players will be able to play on their mobile phone in the casino, which they can't currently do. They can only play, on single game machines. The market is a lot further behind Europe. So we really believe in that market, but we're looking for a partner to really help us accelerate that. We'll be going live with a major client in January, so watch this space.
Watch the space indeed. So you say targeting EBITDA break even in Europe by the end of this current financial year.
Absolutely.
What about EBITDA break even across the board?
The US is key to that, so I think we'll be able to give you more indication on that once we've completed a US transaction. But signs are it's coming soon, and it's a key focus for us.
And as far as the cash position, I know you've recently announced these plans to raise. Is it up to £3.5 million? Give us a bit more detail on what's happening here.
So 3.5 in total. 2 of that coming from the sale of the percentage of the US business, the rest an equity raise, which is it's a good indication that the business is going in the right direction. Cleaning up the balance sheet as well in terms of the debt conversion. So it's a really good time for the company to go forward into growth and for our investors.
And the current quarter, 2019 so far, so good?
It's doing well, yeah, it's good. Trading's good at the moment. Lots of new partners signed up and ready to go live. Lots of new content coming onto the platform. So it's a really exciting time for the business.
Well, look, really good to have the opportunity to see you this morning, Lucy. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks very much for having me.